Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast, where we discuss and analyze your favorite marble sports. From JMR Marble League to I'll Go Do tournaments, we'll make sure you never miss the action. All marble sports, all the time, right here on the MSW Podcast.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Commander Wof. Apparently, we're from a different planet now.
Yeah, did you like the greetings? Did you like that little switch up there?
I did. I liked it. That threw me off.
I said greetings. I just felt like, Christmas. I have to say something different, so greetings it is. So greetings, guys.
Awesome.
There's going to be no hellos, no goodbyes. It's going to be greetings and the opposite of that, which is not goodbye or something else. You'll figure that out. But yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. When this comes out, possibly even Happy New Year to everybody. So I hope you guys are enjoying your time during these holidays. I know the time is tough, but I hope you're still enjoying it and finding time to spend with your family, friends, things like that, in a safe way that is still fulfilling in a way. And I hope you got good things for Christmas. I did get a few nice things for Christmas. I got an upgrade on my webcam, so I'm going to look even better, clearer definition if you watch the YouTube version of the podcast. I got an upgrade on my mouse for video gamings and a couple other things. Wof, did you get anything worth noting as well?
I got things for my apartment, like I'm gonna get a lamp to like to spice up the room. I got a gigantic wall hanging thing. It's like the Death Star, actually. I didn't see that coming.
That's awesome.
I think I'm gonna be getting a neon sign. It's a bit delayed, but that's what it should be coming through. I'm old now. I have everything I need, so I was like, I guess, furniture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need. That's a fact. When you get older, you need things to fill your home, not like when you're a kid and you're just like, oh, I don't need things, so just get me toys and shit. So, yeah.
I already have enough games I need to catch up on.
Yeah.
I've got a serious backlog.
Exactly. You're like, don't get me any more games. Don't put more games on my to-do list.
I have 42 on my to-do list to get, but I still have several more that I need to play first. So it's like,
hey, you're a busy man. You got a lot of things a lot of video gaming to get to. So get to that video gaming, Wof. Get off this Marble podcast. Go video game. You have to catch up.
All right, well, bye, everybody.
Yeah, bye, Wof. So, all right, so we're going to be heading forward here with just Marble Guy, which is me, or Brendan, and Wof is going to just not be here for the rest of the intro. Rest of the intro. Take the rest of the intro off, all right? You're going to take it off. Next 2 minutes,
okay.
I'm going to talk. I'm going to get us the news, and you come back after the news after you played some games, all right? So goodbye, Wof. I don't want to hear any more from you. If I hear any more, it's going to be cut out of the episode.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right, so Wof's gone, everybody, and so he's enjoying his Christmas break. I feel that as the host of the show, as the owner of the show, I should give my co-host time off, and I think 2 to 3 minutes is good enough. Johnny Marble might even go long today, so it might be upwards of 5 to 7 minutes. So I think that I'm being fair. I'm giving him his Christmas break. He has the opportunity to take time off from the show. So we're going to see him after the news. So I feel like I'm being fair, right? I'm being fair to his time during this Christmas season. But I just realized now that I don't really have anything else to say for the intro. We have things to talk about today. We have Winter Marble League to predict in a way, but also just to look forward with, to talk about why we should put any importance on the Winter Marble League at all. Because every bit of data we can pull from the world of marble sports is data that's going to be useful in the future of marble sports. So we're going to talk about why that's important. We're going to talk about the new Marble Mania thing that Gels Marble One's released and what that could be, and what fans want that to be. Do the trivia, do the emails, which, by the way, don't forget, you can email in to us, mswpodcast@gmail.com. Send us emails about anything. Send emails more than once. Talk about marbles. Talk about things in your life. Ask us questions. Ask us advice. Give us advice. Send us emails. We want to engage with you guys weekly here on the show. So with that being said, we're going to head to the news with Johnny Marble. He's going to tell us about things, hopefully give us a good Merry Christmas, and we'll see you on the other side. Back with Wof because his break time will be over, and we'll bring you the rest of the show.
Hello, Marble Sports fans! I am Johnny Marble, and as always, I'm coming to you for MSW. Guys, we don't have much news today, but we got news, so I'm going to give it to you. The Marble Cross 2020 Championships are finally here, and they were quite interesting, as they were different from the previous races, not just in its Christmas theming, but also in its downhill racing style. It was a tough battle, and in the end, Reef came out on top, making them the Marble Cross 2020 champion. With only 1 point separating each of them, Canary came in second and Lifesaver in third. So it was really down to the wire in the last race. Congratulations to these amazing racers, and we are looking forward to seeing them again in 2021. Well guys, that's all for the news. I told you it was short, but hey, I always enjoy our time together. I've been Johnny Marble. You, my dear listener, have been the best fan in the world. Let's take it back and continue on with the podcast.
Welcome back from the news, and a Merry Christmas to you as well, Johnny Marble. I am just assuming that's what he ended with.
Well, I mean, he did that last episode.
Oh crap!
So
well, then, Happy New Year or a secondary Marbly Christmas to you.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa. Is that even real? By the way,
Kwanzaa was actually, I think, 3 days ago.
Is Kwanzaa like a real thing that people say? You know what? If you're out there and listening to the show, and you celebrate Kwanzaa, you legitimately celebrate Kwanzaa at this time of the year, I need you to write in and tell me what that's all about. It might be a long shot. It's not I've never heard of anyone who celebrated Kwanzaa before.
I actually don't know how Kwanzaa is celebrated.
Yeah, so if you're out there,
I know Hanukkah is celebrated.
And you celebrate Kwanzaa, and even if you celebrate Hanukkah, because I have an idea of how it's celebrated, but I haven't really, I don't celebrate it every year, so I don't know exactly how you do it. If you celebrate something besides Christmas at Christmas time, please email in and talk to us about it. I would love to hear about how you celebrate, how you enjoy the time. And you know what? Even past that, if you celebrate Christmas, tell us your favorite part. I mean, even if this is a week late, but that's okay. Tell us what your favorite part is, like your favorite tradition or something that you do to celebrate Christmas. Email in mswpodcast@gmail.com. Throw a Marble comment in there. Why not? I would love to hear all about your guys' holiday enjoyments, maybe your New Year's preferences and traditions as well. Just in general, I think it's a good time to do a like a holiday kind of appreciation and recognition of what you guys enjoy doing during the holidays. So please email in mswpodcast@gmail.com. We'll read it this week if you email in right now, or we'll read it next week if you email in by then, probably.
Kwanzaa actually is still going. It goes from the 26th to the 1st, so it is still going. So technically, we can say Happy Kwanzaa, and it still is on time.
Happy Kwanzaa. If that kindles joy in your life, Happy Kwanzaa. All right, so Wof is back, as you can see, his break time is over. So no more of that, whatever he thinks he's doing on his off time. I've given him time. He's back. It's fair. He's got to talk some marbles with us. And before we get into Marble Mania and discuss that, I want to talk a little bit about the Winter Marble League. All right, and the Winter Marble League is going to be a 5-event kind of special one-off. I think it will probably occur in one video. And it will feature 16 teams that are often seen in Marble League, and I'm just going to read them off quickly, only because if anyone's listening that isn't aware of this, I want you to know what 16 teams will compete. They will be the Savage Speeders, O-Rangers, Snowballs, Team Momo, Oceanics, Hazers, Team Galactic, Thunderbolts, Crazy Cat's Eyes, Green Ducks, Midnight Wisps, Raspberry Racers, Minty Maniacs, Chocolatiers, Pinkies, and Balls of Chaos. And so those are the teams that will be competing. And they'll be competing in 5 events. Like I said, I'm assuming in one video. And that will be Ice Dash, Snowboard Cross, Speed Skating, Bobsled, and Ice Hockey. Mm-hmm. And the initial reaction I had was, well, this seems a little bit unnecessary. This seems like, why are we doing this? Why are we breaking up another week of Marbula 1 for something like this? And there could be a million reasons why JMR is choosing to do that. Maybe they needed an extra week for Marbula 1. Maybe they needed more time to plan it, or maybe they just wanted to put something else in there because Marble League is very, very, by the numbers, much more popular than anything else on their channel. So maybe they wanted to add some extra Marble League fun in there, which is also fine. So, go ahead.
Yeah, like based on what I've heard, like Winter Marble League is actually a very recent idea. I know we criticized like, hey, like they could have used that time to make Marble 1 better.
Could.
And like that, but apparently, like because this is such a recent idea, it didn't actually affect it at all. Like they were going to make Marbula 1 the same regardless. So this actually does not affect the development time of Marbula 1 in any way, shape, or form. It seems. Now it does delay it, like the next events, but like they did not like give up time developing Marbula 1 for this,
which is good. But I want to talk a little bit about, because like if we are honest about what Winter Marble League is, it's not really that important. Okay, it's kind of a one-off. It's about as important as the Craven Dome milk thing that we saw, because it's not going to have any huge implications on points for the coming real Marble League season. It's not going to crown a champion that's going to be recorded in the record books as a real Marble League champion, because it's not all 16 events. It's not a whole thing, but. Mm-hmm. It does allow us to experience more data for analysis when we go in to this year's Marble League. When the 2021 Marble League is coming, and every single event we get to see a team compete is extra data, is extra opportunity to observe and analyze and come to a conclusion and predict what the future will be like for a particular team. For example, and this is an extreme example, but it is an example. If the Savage Speeders come out in this event and lose all 5 events in this Winter Marble League, I am not picking them for my fantasy team in 2021. That will decide it. If they were to get dead last in every one of these 5 events, my conclusion would be that the Savage Speeders' skill level is on the decline, and therefore, while currently I am picking them for 2021 fantasy, my opinion on that would change dramatically. I would not pick them, because these events are in some way mirror the kind of events you're going to see in the 2021 Marble League. Ice Dash, it's like 5-meter sprint. Snowboard cross, maybe like a longer race. It might have some moguls in it. You sometimes see that in the Marble League. Speed skating. I'm not 100% sure what that will be as opposed to the Ice Dash, but maybe that'll be like a Marbula 1 type course. Who knows? Bobsled, we've seen that before. It's like a downhill, like snow rally. And if they bring the Sandlet Rally back next year like they should, then that's important to look at. Ice hockey, that's actually very collision based. So if a team tanks in ice hockey, then in collision, they're not going to be favored. It is a different event. They are played differently, but they both involve impact between the two teams. So these are all events that we can use to analyze how we think they're going to be. And Wof, what do you think about that? Do you agree with that, or do you think these have no bearing on the coming season?
I mean, you're right. Like, because this is very similar to how I guess like some of the events in the future will be. I do think ultimately, like it's similar to the friendly round that they do every time before the main Marble League, where like they're just doing it for like just kind of doing it to have some fun. They're like, putting on a show for the fans, like and so that like I think they're just doing it to have fun and give their fans something to watch to tide them over. I don't think well like these are definitely professional athletes and competitions in their blood, so to speak, and so
in their glass.
in their glass. Like they live for this stuff. And I mentioned they'll take it very seriously enough, but like it's definitely not gonna be the same thing as like being in the Marble League. So I think it will. I think this is. It'll maybe give us a small taste, but it won't be a true indication of what to expect in 2021.
I think that's a valid take. I think that is a valid take. And the only thing, and you may be 100% right, especially with the time gap between the two as well, but something I will differentiate between the friendly round before the Marble League and the 5-event situation coming up here is that the friendly round is with the 4 teams that have already qualified. So there's the friendly round is indeed friendly because the pressure is off. How they do in that has zero bearing. And you would assume, or you would think, that most teams would be going lighter because they don't want to injure themselves for the coming season that close to the season. It's a little different now since there's such a long time before the season. If there was an injury, it'd probably be accounted for. And in the Winter Marble League, there are 16 teams competing, not just the 4 that are already qualified. So I feel like I feel like you have a point, but there may be a little bit more you can take from this than maybe you could take from the friendly round. But I mean, what do you think about the events, Wof? I mean, do you have like a one you're looking forward to? Have we seen all these before in the past? These events before, or what?
We have seen all. I think we've seen all of them. I just don't remember what snowboard cross is.
That's a good point. Maybe I'll pull up the JMR wiki here because I don't remember speed skating. Do you remember what speed skating looked like in the past?
I believe it is it's like the relay race.
Oh, that's true. It could be the relay race style. The why they would have a 5-meter sprint and a relay race in the 5-event situation, it seems a little bit unexpected.
Yeah.
What was the Winter Marble League? 2018?
Yes.
Winter Marble Olympics. Remember those days? Okay, so they do have Ice Dash. That was the 5-meter sprint. That was equivalent to the speed skating. Let's see what this was about. I don't remember it. It was the first event, by the way, that Team Momary competed in, which is interesting.
It's the Corsetti rails.
Oh,
we haven't seen those in so long.
But you sound excited about that.
Oh, we haven't. It adds variety back that has been missing for quite a while.
I know, but the question is, do you want to see more Corsetti rails? Do you want to see?
I think I do.
You do. Interesting, because in my opinion, I've always been.
I mean, I think they technically do use them for like the ramps, like for like high jump and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're not real Corsetti events, Like Corsetti is a big Marble name in terms of like in product and stuff like that. And it's been a staple of the series in its early days. So it's kind of been weird that it's not really been playing such a prominent role recently.
And you don't feel that the visual appeal of the Corsetti rails maybe detracts from the professionalism of the event?
In my opinion, no. I think maybe like this whole like thing about it being skating is a bit strange, but I think there's no other way to do it. I think like because like skating is supposed to be like a different type of like you're running or riding along on a different on blades like on this one they're riding on thin rails. So like it's kind of this closest thing as you can get.
Interesting. And if you're okay and excited for them, that's interesting. I am not super excited about the Corsetti rails. I liked Team Pursuit and events like that, which use these rails, but I wasn't a big fan always of the Corsetti. Though on the other side of the coin, now that you mention it, Wof, and you get so excited about it, I will say that the uniqueness of the events like Team Pursuit, it would be very difficult to recreate without one single file tracks like the Corsetti. So that is a good point that comes from your excitement, I guess. But I don't know. I when I envision speed skating, I kind of envision a circular course with the marble drome tracks. Maybe something down to make them look white like snow and ice, and put something more slippery down there and kind of let them speed around that. Though, I mean, I'm kind of fine with anything. I have to be honest. Now that I really think about it, maybe the Corsetti the tracks coming back might be a good thing. I mean, we haven't seen them
Yes.
in a while. And I mean, if Wof, if you like it, I'll give it another chance at the very least. How about that?
That's all I can ask. Like, it's been about 2 years, I think, since we've had a Corsetti themed event. So this is like, unless something happened in 2019 that I'm not remembering, it's like this is a chance to show how much they've learned.
Yeah. I agree, because we haven't seen them in a while, and the skills that marbles may and teams may have attained using those track pieces may have gone down because there hasn't been a need recently to practice for them, and you might just see instinctive skill, instinct like teams having to show some instinctive skills. Since I mean, for this friendly Winter Marble League, they probably won't be practicing as much as they would for a real Marble League. So the tracks coming back like this could be interesting. I mean, and okay, so let's take a look at what the other events are. Ice Dash is 5-meter sprint, but on ice. So, I mean, I hope they do something a little bit more unique with it, like really make it considerably more different in the terrain. Speed skating we talked about. We'll talk about bobsled a little bit. I mean, we remember bobsled. And it's more about the 3D printed kind of bobsleds that they're in, like you said, right? They were upside down in the first time they were used, right? And now, what do you think about that? I mean, they were upside down and marbles popped out a bunch. Well, do you think they should be popping out at all, or do you think the risk of a marble popping out should be a problem that the marbles have to face during the racing?
Well, because like the right side, putting it the right side up allows more contact from the marbles and more control. So they actually do more interaction with the event themselves, and like it's harder to for them to get loose because like the bobsled would have to fly up high enough for them to run. So like it would be not only would it make the accidents fewer and therefore more interesting and stand out more, like, oh, that was a big accident, but because generally an accident can only happen if enough of the bobsled flies up, chances are it'll be a massive accident. Like in real bobsledding, generally when an accident happens, like the run is basically done. Mm-hmm. And it's like a small mistake can be catastrophic, and that's what makes bobsled actually a fairly good and entertaining sport to watch. Cause like Cool Runnings is what Chad mentioned. That's a great movie. I love that. Like it's basically a bobsledding movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But like. So like having that way, because like basically the marbles have to be in the bobsled to get points, so at least one has to. So if all of them fall out, then their run is basically a DNF. Wow. It adds an extra level of tension, but also I guess more security in a way, because before sometimes a marble would just fly out like near the end, like okay, we just lost like a second on our time, like out of nowhere, and like it wasn't designed to be that easy to mess up.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that you create a good case for putting the bobsleds right side up, and so what you're saying. So are you saying that with the bobsleds right side up, it's the marbles have a higher chance of staying in it, but if they were to come out in the new state, that the correct orientation, that even one marble coming out would kind of kill the whole run, is what you're saying, and because the marbles are more interactive with the ground. I mean, yeah, and that's, I think. Go ahead.
Can you pull? I'm gonna say I look at the wiki, like they show like an image of them clearly right in it correctly, because there's rails like on the bottom, but like can you pull up the video? I guess I see like are the rails like pointing towards the sky? Video.
Okay, so let's see. We're gonna go to JMR. This is how we search together on YouTube, guys. So if you're at home, we're searching together on YouTube. JMR bobsled. Okay, because we don't search on YouTube. Okay, I have to type in Joe's Marble Runs, or it doesn't understand that I want marble sports and not real bobsledding. Imagine wanting real bobsledding. It's ridiculous. Okay, well, M&H Racing did bobsleigh. Well, okay, can I just comment on how M&H's Racing, bobsledding, has nothing to do with bobsledding? Go watch that video. Look at this right here. Look, there's no vehicles. It's just rolling down a track. Race. Okay, but when rafting, rafting's one of my favorite events. Where's the bobsled event?
I think it's at the top. I think you just missed it.
No, this is all events. GMR's Marble League.
Did the Winter Marbly ever get re-uploaded?
Right, because it was
didn't.
uploaded wrong, so I have to go find it in here. Thanks, Wof.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're finding it, guys.
Timestamps in the description, maybe. Timestamps in the description, possibly.
Possibly. Oh yeah, look at that, Wof. You never cease to amaze me.
Hey.
Here we go. So we're gonna see. So we're taking a look, guys, to see if the bobsled
there's finally like a still image at the starting.
So that's
gate.
a still image, and you can see in this still image if you're watching here on the YouTube. If you're not watching here on the YouTube, then you can notice a still image in your minds, or you can pull up the video on your own. But we have a still image up here of the bobsled orientation before the event begins, and the treads are clearly on the bottom of the sled, and it's clearly oriented correctly. Now let's actually go in and take a look to see if we can see any differences here in its orientation. Wow, Balls Chaos were in the lead at this point in the competition. How about that?
Wow.
It's unexpected.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to take a look. Are those the treads on the top? Wow, dude, I think they are. Look at that.
Oh.
Do you see them?
Yeah, I do.
Wait, let me see maybe if there's like a replay, we can get a real close look at it.
I think there were some shots actually like where like we saw them stationary at the gate before it went off.
Well, maybe we'll get another one here after the limers. I mean, these are just the limers. Limers are bad. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you can see the treads on the bobsled are at the top, and you can see the narrower aspect of the bobsled, which is the part that's on the top normally, or in the correct way, is actually at the bottom. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're oriented correctly, and you can see the marbles kind of stick out a little bit more, because normally the marbles would that sticking out part would be the marbles at the bottom kind of sticking out, and those treads add that extra height, so the marbles can stick out more on the bottom and decrease the ability for them to pop out as easily and guide the bobsled a little bit better. And
which explains why it was so wild.
Yeah,
because they had nothing to help steer them.
I don't know how they made the decision, but yeah, I think that redoing that orientation, you're going to allow the bobsled to be controlled better, and you're going to allow for a situation where if a marble does pop out, it's less often, but when it does, it's more disastrous, likely, because, well, losing that whole weight, and you have the treads down there, that might cause more problems.
Yeah, the only way I could see it happening is if there's like a big enough crash where that thing is just flying, like it would be very difficult, I think, for a marble to get out of there.
I agree. So we have a couple more events here, so let's take a look at them. Those would be snowboard cross and what was the other one? Ice hockey. Now, ice hockey...
Snowboard cross.
Ice hockey, let's look out real quick. There's not much for me to say about this, besides to not enjoy it. I don't like ice hockey because it just doesn't... It feels like a Fubeca event. Can I be honest about that? Can we talk about that, Wof? Do you not see what I'm saying?
You're not wrong. It is very much a Fubeca event. I don't know who did it first, but no one copied each other. Sports are just loved by everybody. Clearly, like that's why they're doing this stuff right here.
No, I'm not pointing to any copying. I'm saying that just the event style feels like Fubeca. Did you see the recent Fubeca video? Did you see the recent Fubeca baseball video and how just awful that was?
I did not.
And on top of the fact that they did this very lackluster marble sports baseball, which was not structured well enough, in my opinion, to be especially unique or interesting. They went back to the country teams, which makes it even worse, because he actually, before I left Fubeca, I had a list of very well-named teams. And actually, I'm going to take a moment and run that by you guys. Actually, I want to, just so you guys know the names I came up with. Let me find them. Fubeca... I had a whole thing with this. Let me see if I can find the folder. Oh, here we go. Marble Fubeca, Marble Champions 2020. I had a document about it. A whole thing. I planned out the whole thing. Well, not the whole thing. Here we go, guys. These were the names of the teams that I had come up with. And most of them are clever. Not all of them are perfect, but most of them are pretty clever. These are the names I came up with for Fubeca's upcoming Marble Champions event, which I don't even know if the marble baseball is a part of it or not, but it might be. It might be. I don't know. I came up with these names: Team Yatagrasu, Ferocious Flyers, Emeralds, Honey Jackets, Cyan Clan, Rolling Rapids, Team Stellaris, Flower Power, Breezers, Arctic Foxes, Strawberry Sliders, Mangoes, Oxygenics, Team Tealbreaker, Amethyst Alliance, Shadow Clan, Sky Strikers, Pearls, Rocky Rounders, and Coco Loco. Those are all the names I came up with. Those are, in my opinion, and actually the committee for Fubeca, when that was in existence, worked on that for a while to come up with these names. In my opinion, those are creative names. And even though they might be, not all of them are the best names you've ever heard, most of them are pretty good, and I think they would add character to his videos, except he goes back to the boring countries because he can't put any creativity in his videos. So that's just a little rant there. All those team names, by the way, are open for you guys to use for the next fan team contest. If you can't come up with a fun name for your team, I spent a lot of time coming up with these, except for Amethyst Alliance. That belongs to me. I think when we do a fan team contest next, that's the name I'm going to use. I really like it. And there's no purple marbles in the JMR thing yet. There's no purple team yet, so that's
cool.
probably mine. But everything else you could use.
My
sorry, a little
thoughts on
rant
like
there.
the sports, like my sport like thoughts like the goal or styled sports. I like the like them actually including that adds like such a different variety compared to the standard track and field sort of events that we see every single year, because like that's basically what all of them have been. Like there's like track and field. Like this adds like more variety to actually make it that Olympic style. And I do think I liked how JMR did theirs a little bit better than Fubeca's, although I think they both did a very similar they both had a very similar idea. Although actually, like looking at all the different types of styles of this from every channel ever that I've seen, they all pretty much have a similar idea of how to do this. And it's
Right,
basically
and that's what I'm
is.
upset about. I'm saying that I don't dislike hockey.
Oh yeah,
by the way, to address the person in the live chat real quick, Fubeca asked me to give him permission to use those names. I did give him permission, then proceeds to not use them. So I'm just, it's more just me confused as to why he always feels the need to be not creative, which in my opinion, a lot of his videos haven't been. But that's not for us to talk about today. Really, I just wanted to mention that for a second. But here's my thing on the sports thing. I think they're a good idea too. I agree with Wof in which the variety of the sports is a good idea. I think it is. I think taking it away from just 5-meter dashes all the time is good. I'm just saying that this event, the way it's structured, just feels Fubeca-y. Like, just take the 4 marbles on each team, have them go down single file into an arena, hit a bunch of other balls, see what happens. Like it seems a little messy, I guess, in my opinion. So, I mean, I'm hoping for maybe an improvement from the 2018 hockey, and there might be. Like, let me think about some examples of improvement. I'm just going to throw them out there. Maybe, well, I mean, they already do have the 2 goalie marbles already set out there, which I think is a good idea. Not all hockey renditions and soccer renditions have done that. So it's good to have the goalie marbles there. But maybe have the marbles come in different waves. Maybe have a field where the little hockey pucks or whatever can roll around really easily, but they don't always, like when they're hit, they don't just fall right into the goal like they do right here. If you see on the YouTube, I'm watching the hockey thing right now. They don't just fall right into the goal when they're hit, but maybe it's a flat arena that's just very, very slippery. So there's going to be a lot of rolling, not a lot of friction. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a long time until marbles stop. And what I would maybe want to see is maybe goals that are like twice as wide, so there's more likely points, but it's a flat arena, and there's maybe 2-3 hockey pucks in the center. Maybe you have 1 goalie marble, you maybe send the marbles in 2 at a time, maybe even 1 at a time, to head right at the puck, or right at the middle, and kind of just bounce around, bounce into each other, and actually kind of play a game of hockey. Maybe feel like hockey, where a point may not be scored, or a point may be scored, but the marbles are going to be able to, in waves, hit the puck back and forth and battle that out. And instead of just throwing all the marbles in there at all the millions of pucks and just seeing what random balls go in random goals. Yes, it would take time to plan that out, because you might get situations where the way it's set up, the ball just always ends up in the corner. Maybe you need to make the goal a full side of the full 2 shorter sides of the arena, so that if the ball, as long as the ball moves left or right, it's going to get into a goal. But it might be more interesting to do that and let the ball be able to bounce around between the marbles, and as they come down in waves of 2 maybe, coming in from all sides, bouncing into each other, bouncing into other marbles on a very frictionless surface, than to just let them all roll down like it's pinball. Do you understand what I'm saying, Wof?
No, I get you, and like I was kind of imagining maybe like a small little tiny air hockey table where like the marble, so like with a puck that like could actually float, and they could actually like. I'm trying to figure out like how they could get the marbles to bounce around still after going in, so that there's constant motion. I don't know how they would do that. Like it's not like I guess those like those sensors like for the launch walls near pinball machines near the exit.
Now you're just opening up a new can of idea. Keep talking, sir.
It's like when they hit it, the sensor goes off and it launches the pinball.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. We're hearing from Wof's parents or dad or brother or what or friend. I have no idea right now. Is this gonna get cut out? I have no idea. If you're in the live show, you get to hear all of this. This is great. And look, he's on camera. Look, he's on camera. This is great. Look at this. Look at this. He's standing right there. Oh, this is great. This is incredible. This is great. Do you only cut this out, editor guy, if Wof asks you to? But this is amazing right here. We're getting a view of other people in Wof's life. I don't know who that is. That might be his friend or something, or his brother. I don't no idea. But this is a great moment. Can Wof hear me right now? Can he hear how stupid this is? Did he hear how funny this is? This is hilarious, Wof. Look at him. He's smiling. Oh my God, Wof. Oh, Wof, you can have that cut out if you want. Wof, how you doing?
Oh, don't worry, I'm cutting that out.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude. The live chat got to see all that. That was great. That was hilarious. That was perfect timing for that. But Wof,
what was I saying?
You were talking about the pinball things and the air hockey table, and you were having a development of what I call an extremely creative marble sports idea. So I want you to continue with that.
Yes. So I realized now, like I just the issue would be like, the marbles can fall in the goal, but then I realized the puck can be smaller than the marbles, and and the gate will be just small, big enough for the puck to go through, but not too big to where the marbles can't. So the marbles don't fall in, and they can continue to bounce around constantly and be part of the game, while the puck can then fall in. I guess one problem could be like, if they hit the bounce plate and get launched too far away, they can't really do much to stop things happening. Like all the marbles keep on the right side of the field, and the puck's just over here, just slowly going in, and it's like,
Well, you brought up so many great things that I'm gonna try to put them all together in the vision that you just created. Just hats off to you, hats off to you for being so creative here. I'm going to tell you what I got from Wof's talk here that I think could be very, very cool. Imagine this. I want you to imagine it. Imagine an air hockey table. And you've probably played air hockey before. If you haven't, just look up air hockey table and then you can imagine it. The way it works is you have air blowing out of holes in the bottom of the table, which is what keeps the puck kind of always moving around a little bit. If it's a good table, the puck will always move because that air reduces friction so much, because the puck is in essence floating above the table, that it allows the puck to always continuously move. Even if it's moving slowly, it's still moving, it's still getting somewhere. Okay? Mm-hmm. Imagine a table like that, shrink it down to marble size. Put on the side of the table, put guardrails, except maybe for 50% of those guardrails, instead of guardrails, you have these spring-locked pads, like in a pinball machine, where like in a pinball machine, if a ball hits those spring-locked pads, the spring-locked pads spring forward and push the ball in another crazy direction. And that would cause chaos and cause chances for the marbles to hit the puck. So imagine that. Mm-hmm. Then imagine a goal that stretches the majority of the slot for the puck that the marbles can't fit through, but only the puck can. That stretches the majority, I'd say, of the table, maybe 2/3 to 3/4 of both each side of the shorter ends of the table, and so that the puck can go through. Then imagine a situation where all that's the case. So you have the puck always constantly moving around. You have the marbles with a lot less friction because of the air always moving around. You have the marbles moving around more often because they're going to hit the pinball bouncers and bounce crazily off of each other in random directions. You have a goal which the marbles can't slip through and go out of play. But yes, definitely block. And then you have a situation where you have a goalie marble, you send in a first wave of marbles that go in, 2 at a time from each team. They slam into the puck. They bounce off the walls. They hit the puck around. The puck's moving at high speeds. The marbles are moving at high speeds, and they're bouncing all around. Things calm down. Then you send in the next wave of marbles. They bounce all around into other marbles, into the puck again, and you see if a goal is scored. More often than not, it would be because you make the slot so wide on either side. You got yourself an idea that at first is difficult to build, but if pulled off correctly, could give you an actually exciting and meaningful, in my opinion, and it's seemingly, marble run hockey event in Gels Marble Runs. I don't know if what you think about that assembly of all your ideas, but I'm really excited about that.
One of our live chatters, Ed, you did bring up a good point. Those games could end up going very long, and so depending on how the event, because we've talked about how the sweet spot for JMR videos is really about 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes if it really needs it. But I feel like this ice hockey thing, with the way that the idea that we just came up with, if they manage to make it work, it could last 30 minutes possibly.
Well, it might be a longer event, but I think that if the table is designed well enough to where the goal does extend on to almost maybe even the full side of the short ends of the table, all the puck has to move is move left or right enough to get in there, and that's very likely. And if it's an air hockey type table with all the pinball things to make the marbles never stop moving and the puck never stop moving, the puck's gonna fly through one of those holes more often than not, relatively quickly. And if it's edited correctly, you put something down, it'd probably be no more than 30 seconds for the puck to make all those movements with all the fast-moving marbles. And then you decide whether you need a replay or not, depending on when the puck or where the puck is. And I think it could be still cut down into it will be a longer video, but it would still be but it would be an exciting video, is what I'm saying too. In the other side of the coin, this would be a little bit more active than a 5-meter sprint. Something like Collision. Well, Collision is the fan favorite, and this would be Collision with a puck.
Mm-hmm.
So this could, I think that as long as it's kept under 30 minutes, you could have a very, very positive event. Now, of course, the problem is building the structure of this kind with all those attributes. But then again, that is not my job. So I come up with ideas. JMR's got to take them and do something with them if they happen to hear them and enjoy them.
Yeah, another point is, Migotan and Rob, is like it is a high cost thing, and it's a big risk, because if it doesn't work out and people don't like it, then they just wasted a whole lot of money on something that did not end up panning out. And, I guess if it's just how it is right now, I actually like the hockey as it is now. I enjoy it's okay. I love it. I love those moments where the marble barely blocks the puck or just the ball from going in. It's oh shoot, yeah, look at that teamwork and that skill, and it's I still enjoy it. I love it a lot, but I think this is a point that we've said so many times. Whenever we add that we give these ideas for improvements, it's not saying that doesn't mean that we do not like what it is and that what it currently is not good. We just saying hey, it could be even better than it currently is, and I think something that actually resembles hockey more would make it more engaging. And so it is an expensive idea. It's an experimental idea. There's no guarantee it would work out, and there's no actual guarantee that people would like it. Heck, this almost sounds like it would be its own competition at this point, the Marble Hockey League. I feel like this is actually this might be something that an idea that only someone who's specifically focused on hockey, marble sports would do, whereas a channel like JMR, where it's more centered on racing and competitions, they investing so much in just that one specific idea might be too much.
Right. And I agree to that point, and I agree in the current situation, cost is a problem, time waste is a problem. What if it doesn't work out? But here's what I will say. 2 things I want to say. Number one, in my opinion, the goal of JMR with their Marble League every single year, no matter how long they last with this Marble League thing for, no matter what they achieve with Marble League, no matter what they haven't achieved with Marble League, no matter who's running it, the main goal every year should be to take every single event down to 5-meter sprint, the simplest event out there, which is the simplest one, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That is arguably, but in my opinion, objectively, the simplest event in Marble League. It's down to 5-meter sprint. Needs to be able to take every event, observe it, and be like, how can we make this event, even in the smallest way, improve it so that it seems more like the marbles are the ones alive and active and causing and being the cause and effect for all the movement.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that needs to be the goal of every event. And I think the idea we came up with is something to take hockey from a pinball machine and put it in a place where it seems like the marbles are the active parties. And yes, it will take money. And yes, it will take time. And yes, it might not work out. But I think in the future, when JMR continues to grow a budget, continues to grow in size and in ability to experiment, they need to take to the point where they're willing to really sit down and improve and spend money and time on every single event they produce in Marble League, with the understanding that not all improvements will always be positive at first, but they want the goal to be that every single event, even if it only lasts one video every year, is going to be a positive and a continually improving and just, better than last year rendition of the events everyone watches.
Mm-hmm. And I think, again, this point that you made, like listeners at home, this, if you want to do this yourself, or if you want to give this idea to to an engineering friend who can make this happen, go for it. Like, these ideas, while we are talking about JMR specifically here, we're open to anybody doing this, because heck, that just means more Marble sports for us to talk about.
I love more Marble sports. I love that.
It's more good Marble sports to enjoy. It's hey, expand the environment. If you heck, you could be the testing ground to show hey, JMR, this thing works and people like it, so you could do the same and you wouldn't have to worry about the cost being too high. Or heck, you could do a collaboration maybe. Like a collaboration between the two different league channel things. That could be an idea, maybe, possibly. Not there's it's a world of possibilities, and people MSPN has all or for instance has always been the innovator of Marble sports, but they don't have to be the only one. If plenty of people can also I don't know about you, Brendan, but free anybody to use our ideas I'm not gonna use any of the. I'm never gonna make these.
Where am I gonna be able to do anything with these ideas? I can. I mean, at least in the current state, I can't go make my own marble hockey table. But if you can, go do it, because I think it would be amazing. Please do.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We gotta move on here. 40 minutes in, always longer than I think. I said to Wof, this is gonna be a short one. Nope, look, we're 40 minutes in. We haven't even talked about Marble Mania, read emails, or the Reddit post. Last event, we gotta.
Should we do trivia because we're going to the next segment, or?
Well, no, we have to get through this last event to talk about real quick for snowboard cross.
Oh, right.
Snowboard cross. I have it up here on the YouTube. I don't like it at all. This is not fun to watch. Like I said, like what Wof said. Everything JMR does, in my opinion, is actually really exciting and fun to watch and well done. It's just that compared to some of their other things, compared to Collision, Snowboard Cross is not blowing me out of the water. I don't like this very much because it seems like a Plinko board. I've talked about why I don't like Plinko board events in Marble sports. I think they're lazy. I think they're overdone. And I think they take a lot of the action out of the marbles and make it luck-based and just kind of marbles keep stopping and starting, like jerking along traffic, like stop and start traffic. Where you keep moving forward.
I do what they're going for.
Yeah.
I do what they're going for. In snowboarding, if you're zigzagging around the flags, that's what they're trying to emulate here. And I get what they're going for, but I think there could be a better one. They could do something how the a track in the snow, kind of like a sand rally kind of track, where they could zigzag back and forth. But the problem is I don't know how much the chances for passing could happen. I think it would have to be more of a timed event.
Well, I think
that's what it is in real life.
Well, it should be a timed event, number one. And what they should do, this is how I would build it if I was making it. I would make it like the Sand Moguls, except that either use snow or some artificial material that was white. I would make it like Sand Moguls, and I would put flags in positions that marbles might run into, and like flagpoles, like tiny flagpoles, to which a marble hits it, they will lose some speed, but they won't necessarily stop into this giant block. It'd be like tiny flagpoles, like they do in real snowboard cross, that they have to cross through, that they will majority of the time cross through, but there's still the chance that if they get off kilter, they will run into the flags and lose speed. It will be like Sand Moguls. Like the Moguls event, except in the snow thing, it would be a long event. It would be straight down. It would be timed. That's what I would do. And maybe they'll do that this year, or maybe they'll give us this again. This is not terrible. It's like a better version of Plinko. It's a more exciting and interesting version of Plinko. It's a more unique looking version of Plinko, but it still is a version of Plinko.
Agreed.
So it's not my favorite event, but besides this one, I have to say, but the other events I'm all really excited for. It's just that, like me and Wof said, we like to always think forward. We like to think forward and with the improvements that can be made, not backwards. Okay, so that's what I think about it. And like I said, I think this is going to be a good chance to see what the skill of teams is, and maybe what kind of predictions we should be making. Going forward into 2021. With that being said, we should head to trivia. We're going to jump into trivia, do that, and then we're going to get back to the episode, talk about Marble Mania, read some your Reddit responses, read some emails, and get out of here. So let's head to the trivia segment. Play that music.
Now it's time for the trivia segment. Come on now, let's go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Is the music playing? It probably is by now.
Yes, it is. Right. Do you
But
have a trivia question?
Meow 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 meow. That's the trivia song. I do not have a trivia question right now. Do you have one that we can start off with?
No. Oh wait, did you saw the trivia question from the email that you haven't used? You haven't used it yet. You haven't used it.
How do you know that?
From,
Wait, did we use one
from
last
Alex?
week? I thought we did last week.
Oh wait, I think we. Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah, that was the one about the Savage Speeders and how many total points they have.
Right. So I guess before we get Ed, you'd post an image. I guess
I do have a trivia question. I just need a second to formulate it in my head because I know what I want to say. I just have to count things.
Snowboard cross might be what's that stuff called, the Gravitrax.
Snowboard cross might be Gravitrax. Slalom, yeah.
Based on the image we just got sent, apparently they sort of tease or what it might be. So we're they go back and forth between the gray ones. So that's more competition. That does work better than those mirror blocks, prisms. So,
yeah. Okay, I do have a trivia question. In the 2018 Marble League, there are 12 events. You need to tell me how many of those events are directly related to snow and ice, and and then I guess by math, how many are then not directly related to snow and ice? I kind of had that one stewing, but I needed like a second where we weren't talking for me to count. So there you go.
So we got snowboard cross, ice dash, ice hockey, bobsled. You have ice dash, bobsled, ice hockey. I forgot what the other one I said. Ice dash, ice hockey, bobsled, speed skating. The one I forgot. Snowboard cross. Curling.
Okay.
And the snowboard jump. I forgot what its name was. I've probably that official name, but
I'll give you that one since you know ski jump. It's called
ski jump. That's right. And then there was the snow rally.
Okay.
That's 8. Was there any more?
That's for me to
I don't know
and
if
you
I
to
would.
find
I don't
out.
know if I would count the slalom. It's white, but I don't know if it technically counts as like ice slalom. I guess
It's really
No?
just by name, not by,
By
how
name.
it looked. Since they're
by
all
name.
like, yeah.
Then I'll go with those eight that I just said.
And that's actually correct. In my opinion, it's 8. Richard Hinckley in the chat said 9, but I'm going to give my defense. You have number 1, ice dash, because that's ice. Number 2, ski jump. Ski has to do with snow. Number 3, bobsled. Bobsled has to do with snow. You have to do it on the snow.
Ice.
Number 4 is speed skating. Skating has to do with ice. Number 7, snow rally. Snow. Number 8, snowboard cross. These are the event numbers, sorry. Has to do with snow. Event 9, curling. Curling is on ice. Event 11, ice hockey, has to do with ice. Those are the 8. The other 4, sand mogul race, sand, so not directly snow. Biathlon is not directly snow, since biathlons can occur not in the snow. Half pipe is not directly snow, since half pipe is not necessarily needed snow to occur, and Team Pursuit has occurred in other Marble leagues and has not been snow themed. So it's not really about the fact that the speed skating occurred on Quercetti, even though and has nothing to do with snow. The name does. So there are 8 named events that have to do with snow, 4 that do not. That's a question. Yours, Wof. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm gonna try. Unfortunately, mine's not very creative. I apologize. They should be more creative than what I'm about to do. So, how many lead changes were in race 6 of Marbly 1 season 2?
That wasn't creative, by the way, at all.
I know it wasn't. I warned you ahead of time. I really.
How many lead changes were in race 6? So the previous Arctic Circuit in Marbly 1 season 2. It's a good question. Who won that race? At least give me that.
That was Billy who won that race.
Billy, okay. Then my answer to that question is... trying to remember that race and who was a big player. Billy did not hold the lead in that race the whole time. I know that for sure. I'm going to say 7.
Well, obviously, because there's...
I'm going to say 7. It's final answer.
So... You're right.
There you go. That Marble, come on. Marble Sports Connoisseur, Wof. Come on. Right?
Marble Sports Connoisseur.
Marble Sports Connoisseur. There you go, guys. Read it and weep, as my dad always says when he wins games. No, and I didn't actually know it was 7 because I knew Billy was in the race. But I remember him telling me that Billy raced in the race. I remember that Billy was not dominant in that race. That there were quite a bit of lead changes for Billy to get to the point where he was leading. I remember seeing from other marbles in that race, that were also up there at the top battling. I don't actually remember exactly their names, but I do vaguely remember the race. This was like a couple weeks ago at this point. So I do remember an exciting race with a lot of lead changes. Normally, lead changes don't go above 10 because that would be very, very unlikely because of all how marbles start to space out after the first couple of laps. And lead changes usually are at the very least like 2 or 3, because, usually there's a couple marbles that switch back and forth a couple times. Very rarely do you get a yellow eye situation, and very rarely do you have over 10 lead changes in a Marbly 1 race. So 7 was that even number. So that's how I came up with that. And I'm glad I got that right. It was a nice one to have correct. So I guess that brings us back from the trivia segment, correct?
Correct.
Can you play the music? Wof, 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 wof. Wof, wof, wof. All right, play the music.
That was the trivia segment. Now let's head back to the show. The show. Oh.
All right, we're back. We're back, guys. We're back here. Well, not much time to go, but still a lot to talk about. That's how it always goes. We have 2 emails or 3 emails, and we have our final topic that we want to cover, and that is, what would you like to see in Marble Mania?
Yes.
And to talk about this, to introduce this, I want to remind you that JMR released a tweet saying, and I'll go quote it because, well, I'm scrolling up right now. I'm going to scroll up until I find it. Ready to feel your pulse racing? Ha ha ha, racing, get it, marbles? Do you love extreme marble sports and events? JMR presents Marble Mania in a font that I can barely read. More info coming soon. So, extreme marble sports is the thing here. And I'm going to say two things that they think people aren't going to like. I told you it was coming, and it's coming right now.
Marble Mania X is... Oh, so that's what its full name is. Marble Mania X, I think is what its name is.
Okay, I'm going to say two things that people aren't going to like, and then we're going to move on from those things, because I'm not in love with these things. I don't believe these things, but I'm going to say them anyways and put them out there. Number one. Okay. I am upset that this is what JMR is focused on right now. When we have multiple series that are in pause. Sand Marble Rally is halfway done and nowhere to be seen. Marbly 1 has a 3-week break for some reason, and Winter Marble League is fun and great, but still a random break, and we're still delayed on that. We're paused in a lot of seasons. We have a lot to wrap up. We have Marble League to look forward to next year, which, by the way, by the time these two series wrap up, we're not going to be that far away from the qualifiers of 2021 Marble League. We're not going to be, which is crazy to think about. We're already close to that coming again, but we are. And so it shows that they're spending their time thinking of these new ideas, which is great. New ideas are great. I love ideas, but JMR's got to focus on getting the series done that they're in. I mean, honestly, I know we because the content is so good and there's no other competing marble sports channels to really battle with JMR, and they're perfect in my opinion compared to everybody else's content. We kind of like, whatever, we break a series off for a few weeks. We break a series off and finish it in 2021. Who cares? It's still great marble sports. But it's just for the principle of it. I think they need to start and finish a series. Okay? I mean, do you agree with me, Wof? Am I the only one thinks this? You start a series, no. You don't cut it off halfway through and wait 3 months and then finish it again. And it's happened with 2 series now.
No, you're right. I'm not liking how they're putting something on hold. Someone did mention how the it is very early development, so this is not going to interrupt anything that's happening now. This is something that's probably going to happen near the end of next year, possibly.
Yeah, so that's a good point.
So the point is still definitely there. Before, I think long ago when the podcast first started, we did mention they want them to do other things to fill that gap of time between Marble League, so it doesn't feel like we're waiting too long. But the problem is now is they feel like they're just stretching themselves so thin. It's I'm not it's not even criticism. Is it my concern? Are you guys okay? They don't work yourself too hard. This is insane.
That is another good point that they shouldn't spend time on these new ideas right now for the sake of focusing on the series they're in right now, but they also shouldn't spend all this time focusing on these new ideas because, well, they need a break. And that's why I'm not really opposed to the break for Christmas and the Winter Marble League, because it's fine. I'm just saying, finish series that you start. Don't burn yourself out. Don't put yourself in a position where you're doing way too much, and you can't even keep on top of all the ideas you have and on top of all the series you created. So that concern is real, and I express that more concern than an upset, but Wof is correct. Yes, I'm concerned that I hope they're not pushing themselves too hard and spreading their work too thin. But the other thing I'm going to say, and people aren't going to like this one. They're not. And I'm not saying I believe this, but I'm saying I'm going to put it out there and let anybody who listens to the show stew and think about what I just said. And that is that this Marble Extreme Sports idea was... JMR is not the first one to have this idea. And I'm not saying JMR took this idea from everybody. But I just want to point out, all I want to do is point it out, that Marbles Beyond and Hershey first had this Extreme Marble Sports idea with the M Games, which never went past 2 or 3 events because Hershey either couldn't get it time to continue with it. Whatever. I think the M Games is a play on the words for the X Games, which is extreme sports. So that idea started with Hershey. It would be very. I don't see a situation where JMR, the whole staff in JMR, completely didn't notice those videos, though it's possible. And I'm not going to sit here and say they took the idea because M Games didn't really develop. I'm not saying it. I'm not sitting here saying that I am looking at it in a negative light. I just feel like, I should provide opinions as well as information, and all of the information I'm going to put out is that the M Games the Extreme Marble Sports did start an idea with Marbles Beyond, and there is a possibility, not saying it's true, not saying I even think it's true. I actually think it's not true. I think that just like Marble Circuits and Marbule 1 both came out at around the same time, and there was a whole drama about who came up with the one first, who stole the idea. I think both of them just had the idea around the same time. That's my opinion. I don't want to get back into that. I think that the same has happened with JMR and M Games. Both of them had the same idea at different times. I will say that there is a possibility that they took the idea from Marbles Beyond. And I'm going to want to stress enough for all the loyal JMR fans that are out there, I don't think that's the case. I do not believe that is the case. I would believe the other side. I would believe the JMR came up with that on their own. That's where I would believe. But I do feel obliged to share that information and put that possibility out there on the table for everybody else. Don't want to unfollow JMR by accident. Everybody else out in the world to think about, look into, and decide. So I hope I've made my points clear. I'm sharing information. I'm not creating a stance on the subject either way. Wof, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought it up because, they are not copying, clearly not, and I think it's also important to remember, people can, there can be multiple parodies of something, no one has, exclusive rights to parody something, imagine, if someone made, an abridged series of something, it's only I can make an abridged series of this, you can't make one at all, about the same things, that's ridiculous, if everybody can make a parody of the X Games if they want to, there is no law that says no one can do this. They are perfectly within their right to do so, and I'm looking forward to it. I guess back to why the M Games hasn't really updated recently. One of it is it's not the style of content that he was really is into. He was but also it was a lot. It took a lot. Because event 3 was going. It was a lot of it was almost ready, but then when he finally got it finished and started editing, it's this is not exciting to watch, and it's the idea was not fully realized, and so we've been kind of workshopping it in the patron lounge over the past few months, how to combine it all together and really make it all fit, and it's been a struggle because it's also important to remember Hershey doesn't have the budget or the space or materials that JMR does, so it's not as simple to put together the quality events need for especially with the extreme ideas that the patrons have all come up with him. It's it's tough, and so I'm glad that I'm hoping that JMR can kind of help show what this idea can be with the budget that it kind of necessitates.
Yeah, I think you make all good points. Thank you for adding more information to that topic. We're again, as always, very short on time. So we're going to do a quick run through, quicker than I would have wanted, but as quick as it needs to be, on the talking point I put on the Reddit. What would you like to see in Marble Mania, the extreme marble sports thing we're talking about? And how we're going to do this is I'm going to read everybody's Reddit post. Then I'm going to give my thoughts. Wof's going to give his thoughts. Then we're going to end with the emails quickly and see you guys next week. So here we go. I'm just going to read through them, and then you can use them or not use them, Wof, when you give your answer, and same for me. Okay, so Simavak says, IDK what we'll see, but Balls of Chaos are going to love it. Hey, you have a point. Edu, G, J, 123 or 23 says it's everything very unclear right now, but the idea of a closed circuit but with dirt similar to motocross was already suggested here before, so it's a very real possibility, but there's big room for experimentation. So that's important. Dion, oh, this is Dion. This is real Dion. He's saying, he comments, Marble Mania X, no mania. Sorry, Dion. Oh my God, I said Marble Mania. Oh, wait, let me actually reply to this.
Yeah, Marble Mania is a show on like the Acorn or something. Based on what our has said.
So Marble Mania X. Can I edit this? Can I edit this post? I'm gonna edit this post and change it. Oh no, I can't. Can I not edit the title? Oh guys, this is part of the podcast. Me struggling.
Oh yeah, you can't only edit titles, unfortunately.
Oh wow. Oh,
yeah.
I can't. Fine. Wait, let me make sure. I'm just going to try to edit it one more time. Is it really actually not? Let me edit.
Are we doing this right now? Just hit cancel, my guy.
Yeah, okay. I'm not doing that right now. Sorry, what's Dion? So if Dion's telling me things, I got to do them. Dion, he does all the Marble things. Okay, but I responded. Okay, so Drew Drinks said... Drew Drinks first of all responds to Dion and says, but you can't spell Mania X without Mania, so technically there is Mania. Checkmate, got him. Dion says nothing to that. Drew Drinks also says, I generally don't know. We have so much coming up. Le Marble, Winter Mini ML, SMR Season 2, and when 1 Season 2. That's my point, by the way. It sounds cool, but I have no clue what to expect or what events I like to see added. Well, there you go. There's something we should talk about at some point, you know. I mean, like, do we really need these new ideas when the fans aren't even ready for them? Okay, Uncle Chug says hardcore marbcore, so like parkour. He says I have no idea what that would be, but it'd be awesome. Gravitrax maybe. Skult says flug tag. I don't know what that is. Azim 9999999 says marbles on teams talking to each other. Okay. Seaweed says it would be fun to see an element of surprise going in. Maybe there would be a mystery M1 track, but then boom, it's red number 3 and speedy racing on the short circuit. Then bam, it starts raining on the track. Fubica did that first. It's very good, actually, when he did it. And then kaboom, it changes to the sand track, and they are joined by the Yarble Yellers, who should not exist, by the way. I just want something crazy and unexpected. Yeah, I agree. Unexpected and crazy would be what I want to see. And that's something I'm concerned about with JMR. They're not a crazy and unexpected channel usually. They're not usually prone to rain on the track, dirt everywhere, crazy structures, marbles flying all over the place, ramming into each other, getting tripped, collisions, fidgets. They're not usually do that. They can't even bring a little bit more creativity to the Marble 1 tracks. They can't even add a little bit extra hive to the hive drive or to the honey dome. They can't add that extra maybe 3 sections instead of 1. I mean, we've talked about this before. So with this, for them to say Marble Mania X, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what I'm going to get from them, because how can they not take the Marble 1 courses and really make them over to become these true representations of the teams that are hosting, and then turn around to say they're going to make this extreme sports WrestleMania marble sports. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to look. I agree. I want to see what you're describing. And thank you for voicing that, Seaweed. Not Roger Smith says, I could definitely see some obstacle course type things, like a wide downhill track with lots of debris and hazards, maybe a few jump opportunities. Fastest time with bonus points for airtime, maybe. That's a possible idea. I could also see a crashed ice type thing being super fun. Water's easy enough to freeze unevenly as long as it's a small scale. Meg, you're making a good point. I'm sure the hazers will win it no matter what. Okay, well, calm down, buddy. I'd put more money on the balls of chaos. Ramen Powder says, I would like to see sand or dirt courses with little ramps so we get marbles jumping over marbles. I agree with that, and I want to see that as well. But those are what people said in the Reddit post. Remember, guys, I post a talking point weekly on the, well, not weekly, but most weeks I'll post one on the Reddit, usually the day or a couple days before the show. It will start with the words talking point. It's a text post. Please respond to it if you want to hear your answer to whatever question I ask on the show. Here's what I want to see. I'm going to tell you what I want to see. I'm going to Wof tell you what he wants to see. We'll move on here. We might talk about this more in the future, but for now, we'll just touch on it. I want to see events on dirt. I want to see events where marbles get dirty. Marbles are like, because when I think extreme sports, I think of people, I think of these dirt bikes, I think motorcycles, I think monster trucks, I think, people in the audience, crazily drinking and just not like caring about not being professional, and it just, it's a different feel than a marble. I don't want this to be another, if this is another Marble Olympics, if this has the feel of a Marble Olympics, then it's not well executed. That's how I feel. Okay? So I want to see dirt. I want to see marbles get dirty. I want to see marbles get chipped. I want to see marbles get broken. I think the SMR larger marbles would be better to... Well, I don't want to see them get broken. I just want to say, I don't want to see... But I do want to see, like, high impact. The SMR larger marbles would probably be the better ones to pick for this, because this seems like a more single event thing. Maybe it's an extension to SMR, giving those marbles more credence, giving them an extra event, so an extra tournament. So that could be cool, because they're bigger, and that would mean collisions between them would be more noticeable and large. I think there also could be a cool Marbula 1 style event where the course is carefully converted into something that has a lot of dirt on it, has moguls on it, has ramps and bumps, like the one guy said, covered in dirt, ramps, just everything, and it's just all messy and everything. Messy is X Games. Mexy is extreme sports. They're extreme. I said mexy, but it's messy. You know what I mean? Messy is extreme. Chaos. We want chaos. We want things flying everywhere. We want marbles chipping. We want, we want impact. We want noises. We don't want a professional Marble Olympics when we talk about Marble Mania X. Sorry, to make sure I pronounce it right. So that's what I think about what should happen with that. Wof, do you want to add to that?
Yeah. So based on like how JMR has always been like sports oriented, when they say Marble Mania X, like it's gonna make a parody of the X Games, I think it's gonna be more like a traditional parody, where like it's gonna be like actually a parody of the sports that are in the X Games. So like dirt bikes. I don't know if monster trucks is a part of that, but I guess if that's the thing. But I think the one thing that I would be looking for is like skateboarding. Like that's something, and like off ramps. Like yes. that's very X Games for me. Like I think it's gonna be a different style of X Game parody, where like the M Games, despite being a more direct parody in terms of its name, was more about just having extreme sports in general that I don't think have been done by like that can have really an equivalent, like
pushing it away from the professional feel of Marble League. That's really what the purpose was.
Yeah, because like event 2, where it was like they're like colliding on the course steady track and then falling down into the sand pit below. The ramp swing. I don't think there's anything that they can really equivalent that to. And event 3, which was going to be mining, I don't think there is an extreme mining competition.
No, there's not. By the way, I just want to point out, Hershey said the ram swing idea did come partly from a podcast he had with us. So ideas can be born here.
Exactly.
But that's what I want to see. I agree with you, Wof. I want to see extreme though. If it's another Marble Olympics, I'm just turning it off. I am. Please. I love Marble Olympics, Marble League, whatever you want to call it now. Please don't say to me you're going to give me Marble Mania X. You're going to give me extreme sports marbles, and then you give me Marble Drum Track. I got to be honest. Don't do that.
Yeah. Like you're promising something different, so don't make it literally the same thing.
So I want to see extreme. I want to see JMR go crazy creative here. And maybe Mel, if we can get Mel on here in a future episode soon, he'll be able to come on and discuss what he thinks about what the futures of that, and we can get a sneak peek on that. But when we have to wait until he's free. He has some free time in his life, and I can lock in a time with him. But with that being said, that's our touch on Marble Mania. Maybe we'll discuss it more. If you guys want to discuss it more, send emails, because when you send emails, we usually talk about what you email it. So here we go. We're going to talk about our emails. We got a couple today. Remember, mswpodcast@gmail.com. Please send there, mswpodcast@gmail.com. Okay, so Happy New Year from Mikotan. Hey there, I wanted to say that I've been really enjoying your podcast and discussing marble stuffs with you after the live podcast, and Wof! Of course, I would love to be a guest sometime next year if you guys have an open slot. Of course.
Absolutely.
I wanted to say keep up the good work and Happy New Year to you and the crew. Thanks!
Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas, a lot. We really appreciate that. We want the community to be enjoying our shows. We don't want to talk out to the air and then people not enjoy it. So I'm glad there's people out there that continue to listen weekly and enjoy the information and show that we provide to you guys. So that's very heartwarming. Thank you.
Yes. You mean
Alex,
to us, everybody.
Alex Marbly, he says it's quiet in the Marble sports world, not a lot to talk about, so I want you to see my very first Marvel. I guess he tried to say marble but messed up. Sports video, and my most recent one, and tell me how I've improved and what I can do better. Thanks. Next week will probably be an actual email. Okay, I'm glad Alex is a regular email. Alex has been the only consistent regular emailer so far, so I hope more of you guys get on the Alex train. I will take a look at these videos at a different time. I ask that if you are in the Discord or if you just email me that you just send me a reminder email when you listen to this, or a Discord message when you listen to this, so I can watch through these and give you some good feedback, because I don't have time on the show right now to watch through the videos and give you feedback since the show has already gone on longer than usual. So, I mean, at this time it is usual. But yeah, I will do that if you send me a reminder. And then final email also from Miko-tan. It's a different type of email. So he says, hello. So I was thinking, since I'll be the first person for the new year. Yes, you will actually. He's guesting next week. I was thinking we could do a quick... am I supposed to read this right now on the show? We could do a quick discussion retrospect of 2020 in Marble Sports. I'll read it. This is going to go on the show.
Wait. Maybe this is actually meant to be like hey, this is like an idea of what we're going to talk about on the show when he's.
So am I supposed to even read this? I'm probably not supposed to be reading this, right?
I don't think we're actually.
Wait, let me ask him. Am I Miko-tan? He's listening live right now. Should I be reading this on the show or no? Because this seems like an idea for next week. DM me right now if I don't want to read it if you don't want me to.
I was a bit confused. I was like, wait a minute, two emails from Miko-tan? Like, wait.
Yeah, I was like, maybe he just wanted to follow up and make sure we were talk about stuff. But if you have ideas, like, should we message me now?
yeah. This is a business email. I'm looking at it now. This is a business email.
Okay. Let's see what he says. He says.
What?
He's like, yes, save it for next time. So I'm going to take that as don't read this email, and we'll talk about it on the show next week. Okay, well, that's a sneak peek for you guys a little bit. Miko-tan is probably going to be guesting next week, very likely, on our show. So that little email is what we're going to be talking about subject-wise, hopefully. So thank you for sending that in. So that's going to wrap up the show, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed all the antics of the show as Marble Guy and Wof bring to you. And hope you think about the information we give you. I don't always have an opinion on the information, but I do want to put it out there. I want to let you guys in your brains think about it and conclude about it, because I think the best thing that a human can do, the best thing that a human being can do, is use their mind to take in information, process information, and form an opinion about information. So that's what we're here to stimulate for you on the podcast. So with that being said, Wof, do you want to take us out?
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, happy Kwanzaa and a happy New Year to all of our fans. I don't know how many people celebrate Kwanzaa in our audience, but if you do, happy Kwanzaa. Roll on, Marble Sports fans.